What the? So y'all know it's not a miss.
Take a miss. Damn.
So that's cool.
It's alive!
Oh, the smoke is still going. Oh, yes. I finally made a new intro for my channel. A lot of my favorite highlights and put a little song to it and stuff like that. And I made a logo. Did you see my logo? I just made that. I made that on the computer all by myself. Made the intro all by myself. Self-made over here. You know what I'm saying? But I had that intro made for about a month, and I have not put up a video in about 3 weeks. Been going through some hard times here. Wasn't, on purpose, but first of all, I do work for UPS. It is peak season. Have been working 6 days a week, so my only day off is Sunday. Today is Sunday. I'm off. I'm not wearing a uniform, so we in the garage. But I tried to make a few videos, and they didn't work out. First of all, this car broke again, which wasn't the plan. Okay, let me start from the beginning. First of all, I have a diff over here, my 391 diff. That is from Ebony. I don't want a 391 in there if I'm gonna be boosted. I'm gonna need some longer gears. And I talked to a guy, and he wanted to trade a 391 for a 338 because it was he wants to build a drift car. So 391 is perfect for that. And a 338 would be perfect for me for longer gears and boost. So we said we were just gonna straight up trade. He was cool with it, and then he just kept giving me the runaround, and then I don't know, now he's just ghosting me, so now he won't even answer my texts anymore. So I don't have a diff, so I never finished that video. I filmed the first half, so when I do post that video, it'll make sense after watching this. I filmed the first half, and then it just kind of stopped. So that's been going on for about a month now. Now I get it, I'm busy. I guess he's busy, but it just didn't work, so I'm gonna have to find another diff. I took this car to work one day, well, tried to, made it like halfway down the block, and it went in limp mode, ran the codes. Throttle actuators finally went out on that car. 153,000 miles now, so I can't complain. So I brought this car home, and I took this car to work. And on my way home, it started to overheat. Didn't overheat, it started to run hot, so it did not overheat. I caught it in time, but the metal coolant pipe that goes along the block, it's supposed to have 2 O-rings, and it slides in place, and previous owner had 1 O-ring in RTV, so it did not last. It's pretty I'm not surprised, but yeah, that was another problem. I just put everything back together, so I'm about to bleed the system, and I guess we'll take this out, and we're gonna do our Q&A POV drive, I guess, in this car until it breaks. And yeah, so I got a bunch of questions, got a bunch of cool questions. Some of these answers will turn into stories, so if you want the true answer, it's going to be a story. And I guess you're going to learn a little bit about me. So yeah, let me finish bleeding this system out, get in the car, and we'll take off. All right, car is bled. Let's go ahead and move this car out of the way, and then drive this and see if it holds temp. And yeah, this car is so dirty. I don't remember if I mentioned it, but yeah, washer fluid, shut up. I don't remember if I mentioned it, but when the throttle actuators went out, the code showed for a day. And I was actually gonna do a video on this, on how to change them. And I was gonna do like point of view video and all that, and time myself and stuff. And then when I went to go do it, I loaded up the laptop and tried to show the codes, and everything was gone. The car has been driving perfect for like 2 days. I'm sorry, like 2 weeks. I've been taking it to work, and I don't know, it's perfectly fine right now. Do have the throttle actuators in the garage, and I don't know, we'll just do it another day. But right now it's working, so I'm gonna leave it how it is because it's transportation. I borrowed that car when that car went out, and that car went out the same day, so I borrowed this. It's pretty fun to drive. It's actually a manual 4-wheel drive. Sam just bought this car. It only has like 50,000 miles on it. She bought it from some old couple. They were selling it for cheap, so she didn't know if she's gonna keep it or do something else with it. So I don't know, but it's here. It's automatic. It's a 325. It don't do burnouts, so I'm not interested. I'd rather drive this thing as long as it runs. So, I guess we'll see. Supposed to be getting a chassis mounted shifter soon also, so that'd be pretty cool. I already have solid engine and trans mounts ready to go in, but I don't want to put them in there till I do that, because that's probably going to be very annoying and vibrating, and I don't want to deal with that. All right, guys, so I got all the questions from Instagram. I posted a little ask me whatever kind of thing on my story, and I just screenshotted everything, so I didn't answer anything on Instagram. I'm just going to answer them here. But a lot of the questions were kind of the same, so I'm going to basically generalize those all together instead of just doing every individual question. And I mean, it pretty much answer your question anyway. So one of the main questions I got that was just slightly different variations was, why BMW and what got you into cars? Well, I think growing up, I was just into cars, like little Hot Wheels and stuff. I used to play with them on the carpets and all that. Had that little carpet with the streets on it. But it wasn't really till Fast and Furious where I learned that you can actually mod cars and do the body kits and the flashy lights and stuff. So I mean, I didn't have a car then. I was still too young, but that let me know as I got older that I can mod cars. And my first couple cars, which that was also a question too, I'll answer that. First couple cars weren't really modded worthy. It wasn't until my third car that I actually started the mod cars, and then this is actually, not this one, I'm sorry, Ebony is actually my fourth car ever. But yes, what got me into BMWs? This car right here, the Hybrid Racing E36. Now, I actually saw this car in person, and at our school, Oxnard High School, graduated 2004. I know I'm kind of old, but that's what really got me into BMWs, because we had a car show at our school. We had a few of the locals come by, and it was cool, but it wasn't till that team showed up. They just showed up and brought like 4 or 5 different cars. Like one was a supercharged G35. They brought that E36, and I was like, damn, that's so nice. I love BMWs. And right then I wanted the 3 Series, but they also brought an R34 GTR. When they brought the R34 GTR, my jaw dropped. Like, I stood by that car for like 45 minutes. I couldn't believe I was looking at a Skyline. I think Gran Turismo really got me into cars too, and that's when I was introduced to the Skyline. But Gran Turismo 1 only had the R33 because the R34 wasn't even out yet. So when I saw the R34, started seeing it in the magazines and stuff, and when that car came, like showed up in person, I lost my shit, and I could not believe I had an R34 in front of me. So my jaw dropped, and then also, like I said, the E36 was there, and I was in love with that car too. So I think I knew when I get older, I always wanted an E36. What's going to be your hobby after you sell all your cars? As frustrated as I've been for the past few weeks, you know, that's a good question. I don't think I will sell all my cars. I think I'll always, I mean, I do get upset and I get mad on my story and stuff like that, and I say I want to sell everything. I don't think I ever will. I mean, this is the only thing I know is modding cars. I feel like I'll always have a cool car to mod. Even when I'm old, I'll just have like a CTSV or something like that. Wagon, manual, you get it. But if I were to get out of cars, it'd probably just be gaming. I don't play games that much. I do have an Xbox, but I mean, I touch it like once or twice a month. And I only play for like an hour or two, and then I'm like, okay, I can be in the garage doing something productive. So I feel like playing games like really messes me up. So I don't play games that often. But if I didn't have cars, I would definitely be, you know, deep into video games. Someone said I jumped my E90 and now it's broken. Any ideas? Not really. I don't know what's broken on it. I'm assuming suspension. You probably shouldn't have jumped it. You should be jumping Baja trucks, not E90s. How many cars have you owned, and can you name all of them? Like I said, I've owned, well, I guess I'm up to 6 now. But my first car was a hand-me-down Toyota Camry from my uncle. It was a 94. Green, had that gold stripe around it, but it was a V6, and it was actually pretty fast. The name, that was Terrence the Toyota. I know I've always been pretty corny about my names. And then after that, I had Gary Grand Cherokee. That was a 99 Grand Cherokee. That was actually my mom's. I just kind of took it. don't think she actually gave it to me, but I drove it like it was mine. Like if I needed to go anywhere, I didn't ask, Mom, can I use your car? Which is, oh, got the keys, I'm out. So that, I just kind of took that one. And then the third car, one of my favorite cars was, I had a Mazda MX-6 GT. That was the turbo version, the first generation, which was like the twin of the Ford Probe GT, if you guys remember that car. And that was the first car I actually bought with my money, and I loved it. I mean, it was pretty cool, but tuning it and everything was pretty limited. That's when I really started to try to figure out how to work on cars. I installed a boost gauge by myself, a little manual boost gauge, but I was really limited on setting PSI, because if you know anything about those cars, you know you need to tune the ECU before you can upgrade the boost. Stock, it's like 7 PSI a boost, and it will boost cut as soon as you hit 12. And third and fourth gear, they will hit more than what you set it as. So I mean, it kind of, I guess it was boost creep, but like first and second, I set it to 11 PSI. It was pretty quick. And then, but as soon as I hit third, then it would boost creep, hit 12, and then it would boost cut. So I really couldn't have any fun with that car after that. So, and then to send the chip out to get it tuned, you had to send it to a guy on a forum, like send your whole ECU out. He does the chip, mod, whatever, and then he sends it back. And I was scared to like lose my ECU on the mail, either going there or going back. So I didn't want to just not have a car in forever because I'm waiting for a tune. So I never did anything with that car. Eventually it got old, and then it started having problems, and then I sold it. And I sold it for embarrassing low because nobody knew what the car was. I bought it for 1,200 bucks, and when it started having problems, I remember the power steering went out and then it started running hot and stuff. I just stalled my car. My bad. Haven't drove this car in a few weeks. Not used to the clutch. I ain't got no excuses. I stalled, whatever. So after it started having problems, I listed it for sale for 900 bucks. Like, just come get it. It doesn't really do well for me. And I got no responses like forever. And then eventually I took a stupid deal of $250 in an Xbox 360. This is like 2009. This is just before Ebony. So I sold that for $250 in an Xbox. And yeah, that's the story of the MX-6 GT. I love it. I wish I had it again. I did find it on Craigslist. It was kind of beat up one day, and it looked like it hit a tree or something. So I mean, it was just, that car was done. And then as far as finding another one, those cars are so rare now, and modding it, like I said, is already going to be kind of hard. So I just had to give up on that build. But I wish back then I was super broke back then too, so I mean, I really couldn't do much. But I wish I could mod that car again. And so after that, and now I have Ebony. So I got Ebony in 2010. I've had Ebony for 10 years. And I got Maya, the yellow M3. I got her in 2016 and got this in 2019. No, was it 2020? I don't remember when I got this car. It had to be this year, matter of fact. I think it was this year. And I think, yeah, and I finally put 1,000 miles on this car, as long as I had it. Actually, I mean, it probably wasn't even 1,000. It was 151 something when I got it. But the engine has 320 because the engine is out of Ebony. So, yeah, I know that's a lot of mileage, but she's fine. She likes it. What inspired you to turbo Ebony, the E36? Well, I wanted to do that for years, but where I lived before me and Sam moved in together, I didn't have a garage. So everything I had to do, if I had to do anything on my car, I had to do it, you know, during the day and good weather, you know, not raining. So I mean, it was kind of a struggle to do anything long term on that car. And like now that I have a garage, I can just put it in the garage and do whatever I need to do. So I mean, that's what kind of why it's taking so long, because I just, you know, it's just in there. But yeah, I couldn't do anything at my other house. couldn't do anything at my other house, and I just kind of, so yeah, now that I have a garage, now I'm like, okay, now's the time to go ahead and boost it. So I'm finally living out my dream of something I wanted to do years ago, and I got tired of driving everybody else's boosted cars. You guys know I review cars on my channel and stuff, and I'm always driving somebody else's fast ass car, and then this is all I had was a M50 in ebony. I'm like, okay, I gotta upgrade, I gotta do something. So I can't wait to finally drive my boosted car. Mopar or no car. You're gonna be first on my list to gap when I get ebony running. What are your thoughts on the 335 E90? Well, I'll be honest with you guys, I was actually gonna get that car before I got an M3, because I know they simple bolt-ons, they make a lot of power, but I've seen so many horror stories and maintenance and all that stuff that you have to do. I was like, you know what, I don't really want that car, because I knew it would be a daily, and I don't want a daily something that I'm scared is not gonna make it home. So I got the M3. I love the M3, super reliable, and I think I made a great decision. Is it slower? Obviously, but I mean, it's not all about being fast. I mean, you got dope sound, it handles great, looks great, sounds great. So I love the M3, and I definitely feel like I made the right decision. Almost got an N54, but you know, I decided against it. So yeah, that's all I got on that. I love my M3. I don't care how slow it is, because it gets me to work every day, except for last week or 2 weeks ago. Worst car you ever owned? You're looking at it. And don't get me wrong, I get it, it's an old BMW, it's gonna have problems, but this is a perfect example. Let this be a perfect example. If the car's not maintained correctly, it's gonna give you hell. This car has a bunch of half-ass stuff, and because of that, you can tell, because this thing never wants to drive right, and you're just constantly working on it. I mean, ebony, like I said, ebony has 320,000 miles. Yeah, I fixed stuff on her, but it wasn't that often. Ebony was my daily for 6 solid years. So I mean, I did what I could do. Throw in the damn towel. It's not a question, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish sometimes I would feel like I should, but at the same time, I'm so deep in it that there's really no point. And yes, I need drifting lessons. It's a start. Like I said, this is why I have this car, so I can learn how to drift. So I will definitely be making better turns and shit like that, but I mean, we'll get there. All right, so what is your dream build? When will ebony be done? And what are your plans with the M3? My dream build, honestly, is ebony. That's actually my dream build. But other than that, I really want to do an E36 wagon. I've always loved E36 wagons. They're finally becoming legal here. So I really want to do an E36 wagon. I will probably import one maybe next year or the year after. I don't know, depends on how things are going, but I really want one. I don't know what I'll do engine-wise. I really want to S54 swap something so bad. Like after I drove that S54 swap E36, it's been one of my favorite cars I've ever driven. So I mean, I think that will be awesome. I know it won't be, you know, as cool and nimble as a coupe, but a wagon, I mean, that's pretty sick. So I really want to do E36 wagon. When will ebony be done? Gonna be honest with you guys, I have no idea. Like, I've just been dealing with problems with the other cars, and my money's tight right now, and Christmas, you know, all that stuff, and it's been a hassle. So hopefully early next year. I mean, it's still on my priority list, and kind of why I've been driving this car and doing videos, because I mean, stuff I still need for ebony is expensive. Like, I still need fuel pump, I still need, like, the motor runs, the turbo kit is installed, but I need everything that supports that. So I still need fuel injectors, fuel pump, I still need radiator, I need a blow-through MAF, and I'm gonna go this way. I'm just driving aimlessly right now. Hopefully I'm not too far from home. I mean, this car seems like it's been doing fine. Still got heat, so that's a good thing. And alright, y'all bullshit. I can't wait for a chassis mounted shifter. This thing is so long. I hate it. But yeah, hopefully I can get things going early next, right after Christmas. I can start, saving money and stuff again for that. But I gotta take care of the family. Gotta get the family Christmas gifts and stuff. I can't just push them to the side for Ebony, so hopefully that'll be done soon. Early next year. Like I said, it's still priority list. I have been doing a lot of videos on this because everything I've been doing on here has been cheap, and yeah. What are my plans with the M3? M3 is just the daily. Like, I'd love to supercharge it one day, but of course that's expensive and I'm not gonna do that anytime soon. Ebony would definitely have to be done, and this car will have to be, drift ready and everything. And then if I got, some extra money, then I'll save up and try to supercharge that car, but that's not gonna be anytime soon. What are some of your goals for 2020? I think he meant 2021, because 2020 is over. We got like 2 weeks of 2020. And whatever I had planned, which was to get Ebony done, unfortunately didn't happen, but everything else was, it's whatever. So 2021 goals, get Ebony done, be a decent drifter, and maybe have an E36 wagon. I guess that's my 2021 plans for the channel, at least. Ebony needs to be stanced again. I'm sorry, Ebony will not be stanced again. I will still try to be low. I might, I'm gonna have some good fitment and stuff, but as far as stance, stretch tires, negative camber, all that stuff's gonna be gone. Like, it was cool when it was just an M50, 150 wheel horsepower, but if I'm gonna be making, which is another question, how much power will Ebony be making? If I'm gonna be making between 450 and 500 on E85, stretch tires and camber is not gonna be the move. I'm not gonna be able to enjoy it. I'm never gonna have traction, and I'm gonna be, scared for my life every time I hit the gas, like in third or fourth gear. So, sorry, Ebony's not gonna be stanced. I'll still try to be low. I'll still try to do some fitment. I love looks. I love a good-looking fitted car. But as far as stance, no. But I do want to get more cars. I can get a wagon, or I can get a convertible. I do want a bunch of E36s. Like, I have a coupe, I have a sedan, I want a wagon, I want a sedan, a convertible, and I also want a TI. Well, I don't want a TI, but if I'm gonna have the others, then I might as well have a TI too, so I can at least say I have all of them. So one of those will be a stance car, probably the convertible. Tell us the story of your white E92 M3. All right, that's what we doing? All right, it's okay. I'm gonna answer it because a lot of people don't know about this car. A lot of people don't know. It was very short-lived. So you see the M3 I got, the convertible. It's yellow, it's wrapped yellow, but under it's actually black. I actually had a white one before that. I had a white one, convertible, 2008, same thing, 6-speed, white on black, and I got that car 2016. It was just before the black one. I only had it for 3 days. I was out there, I got the car, I was driving Ebony, 150 wheel horsepower for, 6 years. Then I got that car, and I gotta admit, that car was too fast for me. I wasn't ready for it. I went out there, I was thinking I was invincible. I was flying around corners and drifting and doing all this dumb shit, and I flipped the car. On my 3rd day of ownership, I flipped the car. Totaled it out, and I learned a valuable lesson. Like, it's kind of embarrassing, I know, but at the same time, I'm not mad that it happened because I learned from it. I learned that I'm not invincible, and it could have been a whole lot worse. I actually had a friend with me, passenger, and I was showing off and lost control and flipped it, and with the top down, by the way. And thankfully, Verts have really good safety things where they have in the back seat, just behind the back headrest, there's these things that pop up, and it keeps the car level when it's upside down. So the car flipped, we landed upside down, nobody was hurt. We this car revving like hell. The car flipped, everything was good. We were level upside down, and we unbuckled our seat belts, you know, and actually managed to climb out pretty easy. So it was a sad story. I was really upset. I was really sad. I was frustrated at first because I couldn't, like, the M3, that car was like my dream car for a long time too, as well as E36, and I couldn't believe I finally got it, and then I fucking flipped it on the third day I had it. So I was really frustrated. I got out of the car and I wasn't, you know, normal people that get in car accidents that, like, they could have died in, and they're, you know, they're like scared and shaking and stuff. I was pissed. I got out of the car and I yelled, fuck. I just cussed like loud as hell because I was so mad that I ruined my dream car 3 days after ownership. So, but it was a reality check. I know I still drive fast sometimes, and I do these car reviews and drive cars that are literally twice as fast. Is that a pink Mustang? Okay. But, you know, I learned, and like I said, it's a reality check, and I keep myself within my limits now, so I don't try to go crazy. I know I'm not invincible. I know I can die any moment like that, and so, I mean, it keeps me a lot more calm when I do stuff like that. Now, I don't do it as often, and so I learned a lot from that car. It sucks. Her name was, her sad part is her name was Ivory. I had Ebony, then I had Ivory. It was black and it was white, and I thought it was a perfect duo, but you know, it happened. And then when I went to find another one, I decided I didn't want a white one. I said maybe it's bad luck. So I got a black car, and then eventually wrapped it yellow. But that is the story of the white E92, well, E93 M3. How much horsepower will the drift car have? Well, right now it makes a whopping 150 wheel horsepower. I will learn how to drift it with this power, and then I will actually probably boost it just like Ebony, but not going to be pushing for that much power because you don't need it as much in a boost car. So probably a solid 300 wheel would be perfect for this car, maybe 350. I don't need 400 or 500. I'm not a pro drifter or anything. I don't even know how to drift yet, but that's the goal. That'd be easy to maintain and won't be a lot of stress on the engine. So 300 wheel in this car will be more than enough, I think. Where do you live? I'm in ATL, shawty. Not really ATL. ATL's like 40 miles that way, so I'm kind of, but I'm in the Atlanta area. That's what people call it. I ain't gonna tell you exactly where I live. Mind your business. Will you come drift with us at Mid Pond on the 26th? I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna have to be a no. I'd love to, but the way this car has been, I don't trust this thing. Mid Pond is like, what is it, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hour drive? And I don't trust to drive this thing that far, drift all day, and then drive it back. I don't have a trailer. I just got some spare wheels, so I actually do have 6 contours all front, so you know, I can put some small tires on there, so I got stuff to learn on. But as far as going to Mid Pond, I don't think it's gonna happen. I will be off. Maybe if I can find a ride, I'd love to ride and, you know, at least be out there at the event and do something other than work, because I've been working 6 days a week for the past month. But I don't think I'm taking this car to this event. I'm not that comfortable with it. I'm surprised it's still doing well right now, but it's only been a day. I do still have heat, so yeah. So I mean, the cooling system is working for now, but yeah, I don't trust this car that much, just being honest. I'd like to stay local. There was a drift event I was trying to go to on the 13th, I think, or the 12th of this month. It was last Sunday, and the car broke just before then. I mean, that was like a 30-minute drive. I would have made that. I tried to go to that, but that's like a few days before the car broke, so I didn't have a car then. And then the other car, like I said, wasn't working either, so I was like, okay, I need to take this day and work on a car. Who is your favorite person and why is it me? Hi, Sam. I don't know, I just love you, I guess. Do you like your job? How does it feel to work for UPS, and how is crunch time at UPS? Well, it is peak season. Like I said, I am working 6 days a week. but I'm actually not working that hard. I think coronavirus does not have a lot of people shopping as much as they used to, because last year and especially the year before, peak season was hell, but it's actually been pretty easy. I actually haven't worked that much. Like, I've had some really short days. I mean, some days I got off at like 1, 2 o'clock. And normally, you know, without peak season, you know, I'm looking at like 6 or 7 o'clock days on average. The idle control valve is kind of messing up on this car. It was, when I put the intake manifold back on, I had everything plugged in and the idle control valve was plugged in, but it kept spiking and being weird. So I unplugged it and it's actually running better without it unplugged. So I don't know what's going on. I tried to clean it with brake cleaner, but still acting up. So right now I have no idle control valve on this car, but it's managing. So like I said, with it plugged in, it was stalling and revving and going crazy. And there was no vacuum leaks. I checked all the leaks, sprayed brake cleaner all over the place. There were no vacuum leaks, so it was definitely idle control valve acting up. But as far as like working for UPS, it pays the bills. That's all I really got. All right, I know this video is probably getting long. It feels like it's getting long because it's just kind of a long drive. So I only got a few more questions and we can go ahead and wrap this up. But next question was C63S, as in Mercedes, or F90 M5. Seeing that I'm a Beamer guy, I gotta say M5, but I mean, should have known that. But C63S is a super nice car. It's actually Sam's dream car. She has Mercedes, so she loves Mercedes just like I love BMW. We're complete opposites on that, but she loves the G-Wagon and she loves the C63. It is a super nice car, but I gotta go F90 on that. I mean, you get all-wheel drive, then you convert to rear-wheel drive. I mean, that's pretty sick. I had to pull over for this one. Legend VQ said, "Can you rate my car? It's okay to trash me." It's actually not bad. I'm not a big G35 350Z type of person. I mean, I don't hate them, but it's not bad. I kind of like it. The color's cool. It's I don't know what kind of color it is. There's a video. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's pretty nice. I can't really trash it. He's on some those Audans. Get some real wheels, bro. Get some BBSs, bro. There, I trashed it. Oh, he's got the louvers in the rear. I like that too. I want louvers on the E36. So that's pretty dope. Spits massive flames. I fuck with it. All right, guys, and the last question is, if you were to get anything other than a BMW, what would it be? That would be a 996 or a 997 turbo. Like a Porsche. Like anything past BMW is Porsche to me. I think I'd really love a 996 or 997 turbo as my next car, like my next car after the M3. I'd like to get, you know, another E36 or something to work on. Something that's stock. It won't have problems like this shit. But that is definitely on my list of next cars. And I would love a 996 or 997 turbo. And I feel like that's the only proper move you can make from, I don't know what road that is. I don't know where I'm going. I think that's the only proper move you can make going from BMW is going to Porsche. Some people go to Mercedes, but then they come back to BMW because they know BMWs are more driver's cars. Mercedes got more bells and whistles, but not necessarily the driver's car. So I think after that is just Porsche. That's the only direction you can go. And then maybe McLaren or something like that. I don't know, but definitely Porsche. Like when I drove the GT3, I mean, I really fell in love with that car. I mean, that car was perfect. That car really definitely made me, you know, really want to go into that field. So a 996 turbo or a 997 turbo. I'll even do a non-turbo 997, not a 996. 996 is, you know, kind of older generation, looks kind of old and funky, but if it's a twin turbo, I'm fine with that. And but other than that, you know, that's it. So thanks for watching this long video. I'm glad this car has actually stayed together, so I'm gonna do a little celebratory burnout since this road seems a little empty. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned. See you in the next one.